Alright. Sitting here, fucking, I don't know, miserable. Huh. So I guess I want to talk about consistency. Because I don't fucking have any of it, man. Goddamn pisses me off. Of course, why the fuck would I? I never received goddamn consistency throughout my life. The only thing I got was a bunch of instability. Moved around all over the place. Fucking alcoholic father. Sober up for, I remember there was a time in Alabama, man, if he sobered up for a week, we was happy. It was like, I'm doing damn good. And sobered up for 2 weeks, it was like, holy shit, maybe this time he's going to do it, you know? Never fucking did. Never did. Always turn right back around and give in and then be fucking shit-faced drunk for a week or 2 weeks straight or a month or whatever. And so throughout my whole life, still yet to this motherfucking day, I'm gonna bust a goddamn window out. I'm not very goddamn happy. I'm so goddamn sick of this shit. Anyways, the only times I ever had consistency in my life that I really remember was, well, when my mom and dad was together. That was 4 years. And I remember I had memories and stuff from back then. Then they broke up, divorced, and fucking mine went to shit. No consistency. Till I was 6 and my dad and my stepmom got together. And then I don't really remember much when they very first got together. But they stayed together. Dad was sober at the time because he sobered up after the divorce. And because he found a woman, he was actually had a wholesome family again. So she stayed home. I think she might have worked a part-time job or something. I don't remember. They ended up taking me out of school and homeschooling me. So then she stayed home and homeschooled me and her son, my stepbrother. And so there was consistency there again, and I started doing much better in life. My creativity come out. I loved life. I was happy. Until they was together a couple of years, year or two, I don't know. And see, then Dad started drinking. So every time he found consistency and stability, he would always end up back in the alcohol. I guess you could put it that way. I don't know if you should put it that way or not. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Anytime he ever experienced long-term consistency, stability, he would always end up, he would get bored because he didn't find and develop his creative side and find productive, loving things to get into. So it always turned back into the alcohol. And I guess maybe there's more into that than what I just said. I don't know. It's what we're trying to fucking figure out, I guess. So they was together and things were good till he started drinking, and things were still good for a while, but then they slowly just went downhill. It's like instead of when they first got together, we done good, loving, productive things. Hell, we went to Disneyland or Disney World, whatever the fuck it is, down in Florida. We traveled around. Had new experiences in life. Okay. And then he ended up getting a job working for some loggers, logging in the woods, and they all drink. And so eventually he I don't know, started picking up drinking with them. And then it just grew worse. And as he started drinking, our habits and what we done started changing. And instead of doing good, fun, productive stuff, then we started running around in the middle of the night and spotlighting deer and just riding around drunk and shit. Dad drunk as fuck and driving us kids all around. And I mean, it was fun. Can't say it wasn't fun for a little while. But then his drinking just never. The alcohol always took over and it always turned to shit. Always goddamn fighting and arguing and fussing. Just not good things. So, we went from a good, stable, light side of life into a dark side of life. And this has happened, well, when I was a kid there. And then this time as a kid, I was probably, the first time I was 4 years old. So, see, I said 4 years old is a very wholesome number for kids, all right. And 7 years old is a complete wholesome number. Well, then when I turned 8 and 9, that allows parents freedom. I talked about this in one of my other videos. That I become more independent on my own. I would go out in the woods and I would go out hunting and stuff by myself. Because I was taught how to handle a gun and stuff properly. Hell, I'd run weed eaters and stuff like that working. I loved doing that stuff, back then. And I received good supervision, proper supervision, and guidance with all those things, We treat kids these days like they can't do any of that shit, and that's bullshit. That's stupid. Kids can work. They can use tools. They need to be allowed to do dangerous things with proper and correct adult supervision. This is how they learn, so that when they get older, they're not fucking... When they get older and they think they know it all, I do what I want to do, then they goddamn go fuck shit up and hurt themselves and hurt other people. So it was a very good, productive time in my life there. And until, like I say, I got up, hit 8, 9 years. I think it was more so in the 9, 10-year mark when things started going darker, But for the most part, they were still good for me. Hell, he was riding around drinking. That was fun for me when I was a kid, But it ended up bad. And I remember Dad and my brother would fight a lot, and just I'm going to tell you, I remember I've always had sexual fucked up perversions and shit, right? So I remember we'd be downstairs as kids, me and my brother, and hell, we had a friend over and stuff. We'd be downstairs, and Dad and stepmom would be upstairs fucking, and you could just hear it, loud as shit. I mean, I don't know. And it's like they didn't talk to us about that stuff. They didn't explain nothing. They didn't explain like, oh, hey, we're, I don't know. They didn't know none of that shit. They just fucked, and we're down there listening to it. So, fuck, we was goddamn young kids. I was goddamn beating my dick by then. And as time went on, moved to Alabama. I want to do this. I want to embarrass the fuck out of myself here. Not really. I don't know. It is, but it's the truth. So I remember this time in Alabama. When we first moved to Alabama, that was a good period too, for a very short time. They didn't last very long because Dad kind of picked up on his drinking pretty quick down there. There was nobody to, no, I don't know. He was free to do as he wanted. I was 12, and hell, I was very independent in my youth. So he had his freedom to do what he wanted. But goddamn, I remember being down there. We lived in a 12 by 16 shed. I lived upstairs in a loft that, like fucking 8 feet from them. 6 feet from, 4 to 6 feet from their fucking bed right down below me. And, well, they would lay down there goddamn fucking. Well, hell, I don't know, a curious fucking teenager. Like I said, that shit doesn't really go away, right? Not if it does. If it doesn't get satisfied, if you see your goddamn desires get satisfied, sure, you get full. You let them go, or maybe they go away. But I don't know. I was fucked up anyway, so hell, I'd goddamn peek over the fucking edge and look down at him, right? And Dad caught me doing. He'd be drunk half the time. He'd be goddamn drunk or something, or maybe he wasn't drunk. But either way, it don't goddamn matter. That was No motherfucking respect for me, because I remember I would lay up there, and this happened in the boathouse too. This happened for goddamn years down there. Till we finally got a house big enough I didn't have to goddamn, well, we started going to church. And I'll be honest with you, when there was a time when I was about 16 years old, we started going to church and they cleaned up again. So when Dad cleaned up, that stuff kind of stopped. But when he was goddamn in his fucking alcohol and shit all the time, I didn't give a fuck. No respect for me, you know. I'd lay up there aggravated as fuck. Had to listen to it. Like, I don't know. It would aggravate the fuck out of me. Finally, I just go, okay, well, I'm goddamn, man and woman having sex. I'll beat my fucking dick here. You know? Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, ain't it? You don't have to tell me. I already fucking know. And so he seen me one day picking over the edge in that goddamn little 12 by 16 fucking shed. Never see, I coughed or something and pointed at me, and I was like, okay. So I fucking went up there and hid. Didn't say a damn word to me about it the next day. No, he waited till fucking sometime later when he's pissed goddamn drunk down in the middle of a trailer park outside my well, he's at my buddy's house in his trailer. And whatever goddamn reason he picks the end to do it, he's like, let's step outside. We stepped right outside on the fucking porch on a goddamn trailer, like, and he's just talking loud as shit. Like, you know, anybody fucking around could hear it. He's like, why was you looking at us having sex or this or that? Or blah, blah. And of course, I done just what I done when I was a kid with Mom. I can't say I shut down. I lied to him. I was like, I wasn't fucking doing that. That was a goddamn, I don't know, sheet or something hanging over the edge, you know? So I don't know. That's inconsistency. That's what I want to talk about here. So you see, I've been fucked my whole goddamn life because they goddamn do shit like it's okay, but then they don't goddamn talk about it or something, you know, because it's not okay. What they was doing was goddamn bullshit. Okay, so that was pretty well a dark period for the most part. From about 9, 10 years old, it got dark. All the way up till, let me think. Now, I had good times through these dark periods, okay, but it was dark good times. Like, it was not really so much good, productive, good times as it was just addictive good times or bad, you know. I don't know. It wasn't really healthy growth. I mean, it was growth, I guess. It was darkness. I don't know. Had a lot of fun down in the trailer park and stuff, but I don't remember a lot of it. A lot of it just wasn't good. It wasn't really good. I don't want to say it was bad neither, but it just was what it was, I guess. Okay. It was bad. I mean, I wasn't getting the love and stuff that I needed at home in order to grow properly. So I would go off other places and look for it. And I was always around other troubled damn kids, you know, naturally, because that's the way it works. No, I was always a good kid, but I was just still in those dark areas in life. I mean, for some reason, I always found good people in those dark areas, though, and they always kind of guided me. And getting a little emotional here. I ain't ate nothing this morning. Cutting back on my food that allows a lot of stuff to come up. Starving myself, my body. Does that sound bad? Well, maybe. It's not, because it heals. It's got healing properties with it. And I like it or not, that's what the fuck I'm going to do. Is just what I need to do. I'm sick of this shit inside of me. It needs to come out. And there's another, you hear about the teenage girls and stuff. They don't eat right and stuff. They don't take care of themselves. That's because they got shit inside of them, man. They ain't getting the love and the nutrients that they need. So they do that. That allows them to stay in connection with their spirit. Okay, get in connection with their spirit. That's them purging. A lot of women use the term purging to throw up and shit. Okay, that's um, helps them to get through that shit, I guess. You know, uh, to get out whatever's inside of them. Maybe they're carrying fucking ancestral trauma, generational trauma is shit from their parents that their parents never cleaned out, and so their kids have it in them. And I don't know. That's what they do to get by, to live, to be able to be their self, who they are or want to be or whatever. I don't know. So that's self-love. That's a form of self-love. We don't look at it that way, but it is. We don't like to see it that way because we don't like to acknowledge our own fucking faults where we are failing and letting people down. Parents absolutely goddamn hate to acknowledge their own fucking bullshit and the areas where they are failing their children. So instead of blaming themselves and looking at themselves, they blame their goddamn kids. Why are you fucking abusing yourself this way? Well, they're not abusing themselves. They're actually trying to goddamn take care of themselves. You are neglecting them or something in some fucking manner or another. You're abusing them or neglecting them as a parent. Hey. So instability all the way through my early teenage years into so I was about 16. When I was 14, Dad got so fucking bad I couldn't deal with it no more. And I went out to Mom's in Colorado. Moved out with Mom in Colorado. So this has been I've done this throughout my life, man. When one side I stayed with Dad for nearly all of it. There's actually twice I went and lived with Mom because Dad got bad. I forgot. I don't know if I was 13, maybe 13. I went and stayed with her in Missouri for a few months, 3, 4, 6 months, no more than 6 months. Then I went back to Dad because I could never stand being with her for too goddamn long either. Because that goddamn house was just unruly as fuck, just yelling and chaos, and had a brother and sister spoiled out the fucking ass. They didn't know the meaning of goddamn work or responsibility or behaving. Mom would damn yell. I don't know. I remember when I first go see my mom. I would. Man, I remember always hanging on her. I'd like to hang and hug all over her. Trying to make up for lost time, I guess. And I'd do that for a while, and she would get tired of it, and we'd be walking through the store, and I'd be hanging on her or something. She would shrug me off. She'd be like, "That's enough. Quit hanging on me," Like she would get tired of it. Of course, why wouldn't she? But at the same time, she always failed to fucking recognize what I was goddamn lacking from her. So. Well, I haven't here. I was just thinking about, my sexual perversion. Shit. Seems like every time I get into that, tears and stuff come up. So, even just now, mentioning it. So, I don't know why we detoured off of that. I don't know. There's something in there somewhere. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Maybe that's shit passed down from Dad when he was molested. I remember when he told me about that, I got fucking really upset. I was drunk, but I got pissed off and pretty sure I cried. Slung my phone against a bunch of rocks and busted it. I think while he was still on the phone. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know if it's that. I don't know. Went to church. Started going. I went to mom's. There's 2 times. The second time I was 14. I guess almost 15, maybe. Yeah, it was towards the end of the year. So I moved out to Colorado, and that was actually very nice for a while. That was a kind of light period. Every time I can't say Missouri. Well, I don't remember Missouri very well. That was kind of a light period too. When I first moved there, there was, it was light. It was good time. So that's something about me. Every time I moving around seems to bring light and good times to me. If I stay still in one place, man, things eventually turn dark. And that's the problem. That is a problem, man. I should not have to fucking run and move all over the place all my life just to be happy, to be able to stay in the light and love and, new experiences and stuff. Sure, I get it, but I don't know. See, my mother, she's done that all her life. She's always moving, going here, going there, going to see this and that, and always has to have something outside of herself, some kind of outside experience, I guess, to be happy. I mean, I don't know. Is that just how I am? Or, I don't know. Church, coming back, well, Colorado, got into boxing out there, and that was very good. I loved it there. I loved the school. It was a very good school. And kids, I liked the kids. It was on a military base, and lots of different kids, so variety. I like variety, man, and it is so fucking hard to find variety around here where I'm at, man. Just goddamn. I found some now, but it's like it's scattered out, and everybody's got families or something. I don't know. And it's really not. Even the people that I do know, there ain't as much variety in them as there is me, man. There's a little bit of fucking everything in me. And I moved around so much. I don't know where. And there's like nobody around here like that hardly. Some people, but I don't have any kind of group of friends or nothing. Okay. I talk to older people because they're the only goddamn ones that have been around enough and lived enough to, I guess, for me to be able to connect with or something. I don't know. People my age haven't seen enough life. They haven't. They're just too goddamn simple. They ain't gonna understand me. Especially women, so it's here we are in a woman again. It's like everything I do revolves around a goddamn woman. Even whenever I don't want it to, or even whenever I'm trying not to, just do my own goddamn thing, and still seems like it's always revolving around a fucking woman some way or another. Or feminine in life, something there. Yeah. Christ said that, somebody asked about his mother or something one time. He said, look around. He said, these are my mothers are here. They're around me. My mother's brothers and sisters. And I guess that's how it was with me 2.5 years ago when I connected to God. I did not need a woman. Everybody, the world was kind of my woman because it cared for me and I cared for it. I was able to be a man. I was talking and teaching. I was doing like what Jordan Peterson is doing right now, he had a purpose. He has a purpose. Serving the world and helping the world along, guiding the world as a masculine man. And I don't know, he's just a leader for men and women. And that's what I was. And I guess that's what I'm trying to be again. I don't know how to do that. It's either one or two things. I want a woman in one way or another, whether it be that I find myself and become a leader like I was, or find an actual woman. I don't see that was the goddamn problem. I wish I would have never, I don't know, I wish I wouldn't have given in that stupid fucking temptation. That was a fleshly temptation, a fleshly desire. I wanted to go see my, well, I wanted to go see my ex when I was supposed to go in the woods. And, well, then I wanted to go see her, and then I wanted to have sex with her too. I was like, well, fuck, I can't have sex if we ain't married. So I was like, okay, I'll just ask her to marry me. Trying to find loopholes and shit with God there. It doesn't work. But I did. I went up there and I saw her and asked her to marry me, and we had sex and everything. And actually, everything was fine. It was like instead of the world being my woman, she become my woman. And that was all good. Until she done the same thing I'd done. She gave in to temptation, and she allowed other people to drag her off away from me, just like I allowed her to drag me away from God. And now I don't know. Sometimes, like, I say God, I mean myself, who I am, me. It was me. It was me, but it was also more than me. It was God. God was in it, but it was me and my highest self, my purest self. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to that. I'm slowly getting back to it, but it's like one fucking tiny piece at a time, and there's a million goddamn pieces. And I'm like, I don't. At this rate, it doesn't feel like I'm ever fully going to get back to it. I mean, of course, I know that all it takes is one break. Just have that one fucking break, man. That fever break, and everything pours out, and everything just cleans up and straightens up just in a matter of no time. So, I guess that's part of what keeps me driving forward and putting the pieces together. One tiny little piece at a time. So I keep drifting way the fuck off here. I don't know what we're avoiding. You see all that drifting off, man? That's me, can't stay on topic. It's some goddamn bullshit inside of me, pulling me away from what I need to be fucking talking about or addressing or something. Whatever the fuck's going on in there, it doesn't want to come out. It's very goddamn good at distracting me. Could talk about sexual perversion. That's where the tears were at, but I don't know what it is in there. I don't know where to go with that. I don't know. Got into boxing with my mom and everything. That was a very good time until same thing as always. Goddamn kids are fussing, and mom was always working and never. I mean, she took me to my boxing classes and stuff, but I mean, it was more like she done that. I don't know why she done that. I think she just felt like I don't know. Maybe she's trying to make up for her past or something. I don't know. Because she wanted me to take the bus, actually. That's just the kind of woman she was. She was very submissive to her children. She never learned to put her foot down with them and say what she meant and mean what she said. Whatever. You know what the fuck I meant. It sounded retarded. I don't know. She put me on a bus once, and I rode the bus, and it's like in the city in Colorado Springs, and that was all new to me. So I did not like the fucking bus. It didn't even go right by the boxing gym. It dropped me. I had to get off somewhere else and then walk back to the gym. And she only done that once and didn't like it. So she would take me out there, and it was out of her way, like she would have to drop me off, and then an hour later, come back and pick me up. And I don't know what she'd done in between because I mean it wasn't exactly a short drive to get there. So she did. There was some work involved on her part there, and that was, I'm very appreciative of that now. I guess at the time I wasn't. So, man, we're tearing up a lot here this morning. Still can't figure exactly where the fuck it's coming from. Don't know. Um, yeah, it just got to the point though, the damn screaming and yelling and I was even after a while out there. I don't remember if this was the whole time I was out there, or just part time. I remember, man, I would stay up till fucking 2 or 3 in the morning just to watch porn on goddamn TV, dude. What they used to call that, Skinamax or I don't know, soft porn on the TV, man. Mm. I would get up. I'd stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. Goddamn, get up 6 o'clock and go to school. Find a good time during school to take a nap. I always paid attention. I always had good grades and everything. But I mean, I'd nap at school. I'd done that throughout high school as well. Same shit. Stay up in goddamn wee hours of the fucking morning, goddamn on the computer or some shit watching porn. Get up 6 o'clock, go to school. I mean, I don't know. Sleep in my damn classes at the end of class or something, or the beginning, or be falling asleep in boring classes, English, anything that bored me, buddy. I struggled staying awake. Um, so, and if my grades got low, like if I got a damn C, Dad was like, "Oh, what's you notice it?" And if I got a D, he's like, "What the hell's going on here? You need to get that up." But never paid attention to why they were getting low or nothing. He's just like, he didn't care. He's just okay. You gotta pull your grades up, buddy. That's on you. So it was on me. I've been responsible for my damn self ever since I was just a kid. Uh, I don't know. Which is great. Kids need to be responsible for themselves, but at the same time, they need goddamn love and attention, from their parents. Their parents are supposed to be guides. They are not supposed to control you, which is what a lot of fucking parents do. They're supposed to guide you, recognize when you're struggling or maybe falling off in the wrong area here or there, and recognize why and help you back to where you need to be. I didn't get that from my parents. I didn't get that shit from my parents. I got that from my stepmom when I was a kid during homeschooling. That shit faded away and Dad started drinking, and that was it. My guides were, like I say, these people that I found when I was in these dark places. I always just naturally drifted to certain people that kind of were they were like lights for me. They helped guide me along. And, so I got into church when I was 16, and that was a very good period. I started opening it up, and um, felt loved and accepted in there. We're really good at making youth feel loved and accepted in certain areas, and not so much with adults. Um, we need community gatherings. We need community gatherings and stuff where everybody comes in. Doesn't matter what goddamn problems you have. Goddamn, come in and eat some damn food. That's one thing the South does great. They goddamn get together and eat food. Everybody gets together. Argue, fuss about football games or something, but it's all in good fun. So you need things like that for children and adults and elderly, where everybody comes in, not just goddamn drunks. That's a goddamn problem around here. Everybody does something like that, and everybody's just a bunch of goddamn drunks, and it's a drama fest, and mm, it's dark. It's dark. It's not a fucking light, memorable shit. Half the time they don't remember so much shit about it. So, I don't know. Dad sobered up after I went to Colorado because he ended up getting into some painkillers. Probably because I left and his shit really went downhill for him or whatever. I don't know. And painkillers and goddamn liquor. hallucinated, saw fucking demons in the house and stuff, which were probably demons inside himself that he was now able to see outside of him. Shot the damn house up with the gun, shot his truck up, a bullet hole or two through his truck. Ended up getting arrested and going to jail and rehab for 3 months. Said he got out of rehab and got drunk the first night, but then he sobered up. Was sober for a couple of years there. After he sobered up, we started talking on the phone and stuff, and I moved back in with him. So this struggle, my dad, I saw my dad go through this struggle as well. It still upsets me that he was not able to do what he needed to do to clean himself up and be a proper parent for me. Especially, when I get a little bit older, and then he likes to get drunk and come rip my ass or something, and, try to be fucking hard on me, and or his other son, or, other people. He loved to goddamn get drunk and rip other people's asses, and I don't know, didn't put up with that shit. I don't know, things were good for a couple years until I started getting out looking for a job, and see, I guess you could put this one on me, really. He told him and me, he told me to go down the road and check with the mechanic down there. He knew the mechanics. He was a good guy. He liked them. So I guess you could say Dad or me, either one. He seems to lead me to these people. And this guy was, a hell of a great guy, a wonderful guy. He was a very, very big light in my life, a very big father figure and guide and protector. He was, I've talked about him, I think, before. He was shunned, maybe not. He was shunned by the Amish when he was a teenager for getting piercings or some shit. And he, lived on the streets and ate out of dumpsters and stuff. And then somebody come by and offered him a job, and somebody helped him along, I guess, in life. For a ways or something. That was just one light period for him. But then he also used to run in with a biker gang or something. So I'm not going to get into all that too much. Just personal stuff for him, and they don't talk about that stuff. So I'm not going to get into that side of things. He's one hell of a great guy. But he didn't have a job for him, I don't think. But I ended up going down there all the damn time, man, just hanging out with him. Dad was sober there for a couple of years, but then I went and saw him, and Dad kind of, we was still good. We was going to church, but then Ron, he liked to go to bike rallies, okay? So, nothing wrong going to bike rallies, but we went to the first one. I didn't really want Dad going, but Ron invited me and Dad and Peggy and everybody. I was like, okay, well, maybe it'll be all right. I was a little worried about the aspect of Dad and being around drinking, and so we went, and Dad had a beer or something. He didn't get bad on that first one we went to. I think I probably got drunk as shit. I'm sure I did. And so Dad drank, and I think he might have got drunk or something, but he didn't get bad. But that was the beginning of it again. And I was 18 at that time, I believe. So 16 to 18 was a good period. I got into football and stuff, and that was another stable period in my life. And I was able to commit to something. I was able to commit to football. When I was a kid, I don't know what I committed to. We done rodeo. And I'd done that for a couple of years, but then Dad started drinking, and I was supposed to move up from calves to not bulls, whatever, steers. And I was scared. I didn't want to do that. So Dad's drinking and stuff. That in healthy times, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of things. I was scared of life, or received good, proper love and encouragement to grow and step on up. But he'd get into drinking and stuff, and I didn't, that stunted my growth and development. So, and just like with Mom, I was growing and developing out there with her too. In boxing, I was able to commit to boxing, and I loved it. And I wanted to stick with that, but I moved back to Alabama and they didn't have anything in Alabama. So I got into football, and I stayed with football all the way through high school. That was a passion of mine. I loved it. That kept me in good connections with people and healthy and active and out of trouble. Um, but I did start going to bike rallies. I went to bike rallies with Ron and stuff. And then Dad's drinking started, getting worse. And as his drinking got worse, I'd stop at Ron's on the way home from school. I stayed at Ron's so much, man. Just often, sometimes I'd stop every evening or something, and I'd just be there for hours. And they had kids too that were kind of in and out, so they had like a rough life too. It was, he was kind of, that was like he was a light in a very dark place, okay? Because of what all he went through in life and where he come from and stuff. So, but he had it figured out. He was a light, man. He was a guide. I don't know. To me, it just seemed like he had everything figured out. He worked hard and was just a good-hearted person. He wasn't perfect. He had, he's got stuff too. Everybody does, but. After football, I started getting into weed and running around and trying to party and have my own kind of fun life there. And Dad never did like that shit. I remember one time he tried to take the key to the motorcycle and hide it on me. I had a motorcycle, that's what I drove around. And I about lost my shit, flipped my shit on him. Because he was on the phone. I come home from school or something. I had a truck, but I was looking for the key to the motorcycle. I was like, where's the key to the motorcycle? I called him. He's like, you ain't getting it to us, I don't know. I don't fucking know, you drunk motherfucker. I goddamn got pissed. I was like, you're going to tell me where the goddamn key is, or I'm going to tear this fucking house apart, Like, I goddamn made payments on that motherfucker. I didn't even want the motorcycle at first. Alright, I gotta get off here. HughesNet is here to check my shit out. So I guess we'll have to do that story another time. Motorcycle. He's using it to control me, okay? And he done the same thing with the cell phone. So maybe we'll get into that some other time. I don't know. Maybe not. Whatever. Don't matter. See y'all. Take care. That was a long one. Whatever. It was a bit of a confession in there too, though. So those are probably just going to be long. They'll just be long. Goddamn. I don't know. See ya.